got shot in the neck. Cry me a river, bitches.
Well,
cry me a fucking river. Cry me. Oh, what he said? Black people.
Cry me a river.
When he was talking.
Monkey. Yeah. If you want to continue.
Doctor, why did you say monkey? Why did you say monkey?
Because Rickson is a monkey.
Yeah. Fuck.
Come on, dude.
The fucking neck.
No,
talking the side of his neck. By talking the side of his neck, he got shot in it.
He is a general.
So,
you
know, thank you very much.
He's a generalized monkey who just.
Or make fun of me for how I feel.
So
it's just outrageous. You're what we're talking about here. You're what we've been talking about.
Fuck you. I said what I said, you salty. Cry me a river. You salty and cracker.
Thanks for being an example.
We will make sure that we test if tools are used by people who walk on two legs. We will make sure to put you in the conversation, Rick. So you bipedal fucking monkey.
Dude, you know what? He did us a favor because he just was a great example of exactly what we're talking about. You know, on and off for 2 days because he did do a lot. I mean, it's just amazing how he's reduced to these sound bites, taken out of context, totally making him out to be someone he wasn't. And I would watch him, and I had no idea I cared about him so much. And then he died, and now I realize, dude, I love the guy. He was a great example, a great Christian, and he was peaceful. And all he did is he asked people to talk things out, and because he said, when we stop talking, that's when violence happens. And then he was taken. His life was taken for that. And then I also think another thing he said was the problem with like poverty and crime is a lot of times there's no father in the household. And what did they do? They stole him from his 3-year-old daughter and his 1-year-old son. And that makes me sick. It makes me sick. It makes me sad because he preached about being a father and he totally intended to be that. So you know what, that guy
makes perfect sense.
He's the problem.
Okay, wait.
He's the problem.
Who's the they? Who's the they stole him?
Whoever killed him.
Your friend, Stan.
Yeah, it might have been state sponsored. It might not have been a lone wolf.
It's not a specific date. It's that he was taken. I just think it's ironic and deeply sad that he spoke out about, you know, the problem with people not having a father. No, it's not a specific person or they. I don't know. I say they because I don't know. The powers that be that took his life.
Well, I'll just say this: like Charlie Kirk is the type of guy where I don't have children, but if I did, I'd be like, "What a nice man! Oh yeah, you can take my daughter out." Now, if it was me personally, and I saw me, can I take your daughter out?
Oh my god!
I would pump the shotgun and be like, "Nope." And so,
me too.
You know, with me saying, I see, he has fatherly instincts. He knows what's up.
And for myself as well.
And so, this guy, he was like legitimately seemed like a really nice person, a good person. He had beliefs that some people found that offensive, but I've actually never seen somebody. And when it comes to him, he was actually like very generous when it came, and charitable with whoever he debated. And like, there's nothing you can really bring up about this guy that shows that he was a bad person. And this is the ironic part. Like, what? How is Charlie Kirk a bad person? Why did he deserve his fate?
The person who came in was political. They risked everything. Well, they don't have like a verifiable identification, but these are federally enhanced charges that he was getting ready to have. Suzanne, I'm glad you said you cried because I cried too. I only seen him one time on a temp assignment. You know, it was brief, but you know, he stood there like I'm the shit. You know, so I was like, I felt weird because I knew he had to give authorization for my time card to be signed, and I was like, he's the kid. You know, like that. I was like, oh my God, I've got to either own my own business or get a career, you know, like that. Because when you see them that young, you're like, wow. But he was definitely poised to do great things. But yeah, I cried. It blew me to my knees. I actually cried one time with crocodile tears. It's like the older I get, the less I show emotions. But yeah, I did cry at least once for. But I'm happy because he knew the risk, and he knew who his God is.
Yeah, I think what else gives me comfort is that his voice is now amplified. I mean, it's created a movement like no other. And then you often see, you guys mentioned Gutville earlier, but I feel like he said it, but I've been seeing it on the news all over. You see prayer vigils everywhere. There's all these prayer vigils. It's millions of people. And I just think that's so incredible. And for those of you that believe in Jesus Christ, I was talking to a friend about this loss of Charlie Kirk, because it just seems to be hitting so many of us so deeply who really knew and cared about his message. And she said, you know what? It's when we're all the body of Christ. We're all followers of Christ. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ. We're one body of Christ. He tells us we are his body. And so when we lose a member of our body, it hurts. And we lost a member of the body of Christ. And so,
yeah, and I don't even feel that way. I feel like with God's judgment, maybe he's a saint. Maybe he, has an assignment to do to, come back on the seat of David that would never be empty. But the thing about it is, Charlie represents a Christ-like figure in the fact that when you strike the shepherd, the sheep will stray. So now everybody has, like, I didn't even have time to cry because I just cried for my sister who had died in April. It's no time to be weak or cry because the sheep are in trouble. I yield my mic.
Hey, can I say something about this guy?
Just real quick, I just want to say I'm so sorry, Connie, for the loss of your sister. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, George Floyd didn't really die. That's a robot of him. You know that?
Who is this talking right now? Tony?
Me, Private. Me, Tony.
Okay, well, believe you. You're absolutely right. Why do you think he's a robot?
Yeah, it's like a robot figure with like the voice of like a real man. He didn't really die. So I just wanted to say that we did all the Black Lives Matter.
Amazing. I removed him. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I look at this is a really weird part for me. As I see he killed them, I think he might have some mental health issues. Honestly, he took the ACT test. His scores, he's within the one literally within the top 1% of the people who took the test. Very like intelligent individual.
He thought this through very well.
And he's somebody who had a full ride scholarship, dropped out of school, and then all of a sudden he's like I don't know, what is he doing? And I will say this, as somebody who, when it comes to somebody who ends up experiencing like their first symptoms of a serious mental illness, it's very possible that that he's crazy as fuck. But yet, like, still high IQ.
Yeah, it's not 100%.
Yeah, and I was looking at his the video of his I believe it was his arraignment where he was wearing he didn't have a normal inmate attire on. He had something, the Velcro suit, whatever the fuck you call it, where you can't like hang yourself. So he's obviously on suicide watch. And I'm gonna dare say it. actually had like a lot of pity for this individual. Like I felt like
question: who are you talking about? Who was on Suicide Watch?
the guy who shot Charlie Kirk.
Tyler Robinson.
Sorry, thank you.
What's crazy is he has the same name as my university roommate. And, yeah. They had the same name.
I mean, it's a pretty common name or thing throughout the U.S. But I do think that, like, even, like, the tweets that came out, or not the tweets, the messages, the text messages and Discord, what's really weird is he seemed to be like, oh, yeah, sorry, guys, yeah, it was me. And, like, even these trays didn't seem to, like, really be behind it. They were just kind of like, are you serious? And I believe it was his roommate. And one of the messages was, like, so sad to see how he died. Like, holy shit. And yet, it was him.
Do you believe them? Like, do you believe that this is the guy?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't. Yeah.
200,
I
so
feel the same way.
200 yards away. So I'm trying to get to put this. Like, after first buying an AR-15 and then, like, shooting, and I'm talking, like, I wasn't in the middle. I would really love to hear your contribution. Go ahead. Connie, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Go ahead, Connie. All right, I guess Connie's not there. Beaver, you're like my brother from another mother. Go ahead. He. By the way, guys, he's one of the smartest guys on this app I've ever met. Beaver, go ahead. Introduce yourself, Beaver. I thank you so much for coming on my stage.
But you know what?
Whoa. Hold on. I'm trying to talk to Beaver.
This is really good.
I'm fucking talking here.
I'm sorry.
But I'm surprised you got as far as you got because people had caught him in fraud and other improprieties.
I'm brand new to this app, but I feel like I just got a crash course on how it works.
I know who we talk about too.
I just want to say, Pepe, I think I'm just going to propose this. You don't have to do it. Maybe if you did sell your body, it would fix people's lives. This might help a lot of people.
Sell my body to who?
I mean, not selling your body, like selling your time, like spending, like just being around them, just like being their friend and stuff. You could change people.
Well, thank you. I would say, like, the weird thing about me is that, like, because I didn't do this shit pandemic, but, like, on the politics Discord, they have, like, I don't know, like 100,000 people on there. But the thing is that they had a plug with all of the big YouTubers, and since I was popular on that app, I would meet all of it. What was really weird is I was like, let me, I'm trying to think of how to put it. So if you were to look at a lot of the things that are being said today by people on social media, now that it's like way harder to get people's accounts clipped and deplatform people, I was saying that shit like 5 years ago. But like, for whatever reason, I was like the little Nazi that everybody liked. And it's really weird. And now, like, I had a spark in me. It was just like, oh, dude, I want to, like, it'd be so cool to be like, I don't know, have like a podcast or some shit. But like, looking back, over, especially a few years ago, I was like, dude, you're not advertiser friendly. Nobody would touch you with like a 10-foot pole.
I'd touch you.
And so like and so like even still I would say that's kind of largely the case, but then so you have a bunch of people like me who are not going to monetize it, And then so like I was on Twitter for the last couple of years, just like listening. You know, I was participating at first when you had a lot of the large rooms with like Clubhouse people running them. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, these people, first of all, they say like way more extreme shit than I would ever say. And it's just like so amazing to hear people that have just heard about some of the concepts I heard about years ago. And they're so gung-ho about it, which I don't know that I can necessarily find it like offensive, because I was kind of, I guess, at that point at one time. But it's like, do I want to hear a bunch of people that are just like discovering shit and debate with them? Not really. And I'll say this also, like, I'm somebody who reveled in the chaos. I thought it was fun. Like, literally, my highlights on here were not making my rooms, but being put on the hot seat when I was like, what do they call it? Like headlining, where I would be questioned by these people, and then, you know, there's like, you know, up to 1,000 people in the fucking rooms at a time. And what was, but at the same time, it was, I don't know, I don't know, it was just fun, and there's always like an upside to it. It's just like, okay, you guys are actually like advertising for me. I'm this bastard that you're painting me out to be. And then so like that's why like wherever I went I had a crowd. And like the last couple of years I just kind of, there's a burnout. Like, how many times do you want to talk about the same shit? Like, I just got sick of it. Like, I can talk about like the hype, you know, how hypocritical black people are and their shitty fucking false narratives. And so like, you know, here I am, I'm just like on this app, and yeah, I just started going to other people's rooms. And one of the things that I thought was like really weird is that you got people that would suck my fucking dick. I'd be like, dude, they'd be like, oh, Pepe's in the room. And they'd be like, they'd invite me up on stage. Amazing. And I'm talking about like the actual like big like content creators on here, not like the faggots that are on here still. The ones that would pull in several hundred people. And then I would see all of the people now that still like make rooms on here. They're all like, they were the dick suckers. They were the people who could not pull numbers. They could not get people in their rooms. And one of the interesting things that I noticed is just like how their attitudes changed towards me once I was not like one of these people anymore. And you know, I would say I was quote unquote Clubhouse famous, which means like being Clubhouse famous means you're like a fucking Z level famous person. Right? Like, I'm still at the end of the fucking day nobody. But because I would have these big rooms on here and I was controversial, I got a whole bunch of dick suckers. And then once I stopped doing it, I saw how it just kind of like enlightened me when it comes to human nature, just like how fake so many of you like non-content creating people are. You just run your little faggot mouths and you'll kiss ass, but like you don't mean anything you say. Like, you guys are not much better than the actual fucking clout chasers. I mean, I just wish I could post the stuff that people would say, like what people would try to say to me like fucking 2 years ago versus now. It's pathetic. So many of you have showed your ass. Like, you guys are just You're trying to win a popularity contest on a dying app. The only reason I'm on here is because I know the people on here. And I'm bored, and like I don't have a future in like this social media bullshit. But a lot of you faggots are still trying to like cling on to power for whatever fucking reason. I would just say this: if you couldn't hang, which I came here like maybe a year and a half after the Clubhouse first got started, and it's my understanding that in the very beginning, first of all, you had like legit fucking celebrities on here. You had people like I wasn't here when they were on here. But a lot of you people, you guys are trash. Absolute trash.
Total loser.
You know, someone just invited me to another chat room, and I was ignoring it, but I was just listening to you, and then you kind of were saying how all these people are trash. So I thought I would just go check out the other room I'm invited to, and no one else was in there. I only checked it for like 3 seconds, and they literally have your chat room recorded in the other room. Jaya Jones wants to talk. Pepe that's total loser, pathetic, has no life. So that's the title of the other room. And in that room, that's all it's just you talking.
So
that's it.
Okay, so let me. Holy shit! So I'll tell you what. Go on Twitter. Go on YouTube and look up John Kitover. His name is JonKittover.
You went a little fast before I even was at YouTube. Hold on, let me get to YouTube and then tell me. Hold on, I'm getting there. Okay, go ahead.
So JonKittover, I believe that's his name.
All right.
And if you can select the options, go to live for which videos you're gonna look at.
Okay. Live Democrat Steve Appel skeletons in my closet.
He's basically filming like every fucking room on Clubhouse that he can. So he literally has like 50 phones. He does this to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's so sad. That's pathetic.
But I mean, I don't dislike him. He's just who he is. Like I don't know how to.
But I mean, he's like just recording other people's content and then putting it out as his own.
And he calls us retards, and you know, Pepe, you don't read books. You're a retarded, stupid piece of shit. He calls us. Sometimes, not always. He'll. I actually think he's funniest when he ends up like trying to lay into me, telling me like what a very stupid, horrible piece of shit I am. I actually, that's when he's his funniest. But
it's true. It's all true.
Yeah, I don't know. This is Edmund. This is what Edmund's known for doing. This all over the app.
Kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd let you know that's what I've got invited to this other room. It's just your room being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not just mine. He's recording other rooms. I can promise you.
No, but I mean, within this app, that's what that one room is. But he's inviting people from. I don't know if he's inviting other people from this room, but yeah. Anyway, and then it's just listening to your voice.
I mean, it's like this stupid shit. Like. So they made a big change to the app like a couple of years ago, where they wanted to make it less friendly to like podcaster people or influencers. And so I remember there was like a room where there was this black guy who said, like, why are you letting this nigga on stage? That's how he was referring to me. And it's like I was asking this guy, Herm, like, can I like repeat it? And I was like, why are you
Good
hating
evening,
on
everybody.
nigga?
This is
Like, he called me that word And then I just basically said, "Why are you hating on me?" But like calling myself the word. And then there's like 2 or 3 fucking responses at the same time. Like they both had like a couple hundred people in them, and it's just like I thought that shit was funny. It's just like how are you outraged? But it's like it's such like selective and petty outrage. But I'm not gonna lie, I thought the chaos and the drama was funny.
Yeah, it is funny. I actually, you know how you said you don't have anything to contribute? Well, you made me laugh a couple of times. You could probably possibly be a comedian.
Well, that's kind of like what I do the most. Is just like it's like the comedic bullshit, but like
to me, that's the.
I don't know, like I don't see how you can monetize that. And like with me, it's just like there's like probably 10,000 times on this app where I said that the naughty hard R, i.e. nigger, and they're just gonna be like, oh my god, he said that. Like you just need to make him face the wall, shoot him. You know, I'm just like that horrible person.
So if someone is civilly committed, and typically you hold
you are
for 72 hours, but people are getting out within 24 hours, the majority of them. So what we want to do is let law enforcement come in and take the guns. They're a danger to themselves or others. Well, because without being adjudicated, so because they're
my first boxing coach is still a stand-up comedian. I know you have to like. I know it's like it's like a really hard grind to go through, and then, but it requires like a lot of like creative storytelling. Whereas like I'm just like a shit talker.
Well, it kind of starts off like when I was like a hole in the wall comedy show. Like you want to make sure everybody is like wasted, right? You want to do like 2 minutes at a hole in the wall. You can start off like with improv or like a local comedy, place or something like that. Just get on the stage at like a hole in the wall bar or something. But it's like dry bar, right? You want to do dry bar too, because dry bar is more like you got to be funny without using a whole lot of profanity. Like so, dry bar comedy, it's kind of like you got to be really clever with your punchline. You just have somewhere just do like 2 minutes is a long 2 or 3 minutes is a long time to be on stage, bro. So yeah, man, just try it, bro. Give it a shot. I think you might have, you might find some traction and just get your feet wet.
I appreciate it. And for all of you people in the audience, I know my voice. I'm in my 40s and I sound a certain way. People like to say I sound like Kermit the Frog. They'd like to say I sound like a lot of stuff. Because my voice is different. Okay, I get it. Okay, God blessed me with these genes, and so you recognize my voice. So just follow me back. Okay, I see all of you faggots in the goo. And there's 2 people on stage I haven't followed. Guys, just follow me back. There's no reason not to follow me back. Just saying. I'm not, and I'm, my voice. I'm not saying it's the sexiest voice, but it's who I am. Don't make fun of me.
No, but I think people are putting together their stand up right now for like Charlie Kirk's Killer. Like the guy had on some Converses jumping off of a building and with perfect surveillance. Like nobody who I know thinks that that's the real killer. Like it's like diversion after diversion. And I just think this guy, if you want to hit somebody from 500 yards away, it's like you got to be in the military. You have to have a lot of skill set to hit somebody from that far away. And so I don't think this guy that they captured is actually the real. Like, if this guy can hit some, like, come on, bro. Like, we believe anything. Everybody just believes anything. Like, oh yeah, this guy hit somebody from 500. You know how hard it is to hit somebody from that far away.
Yo, I don't want you to do university tours. I don't know why. I don't want you to do that. Podcasts, I back podcasts. I'll help you with the podcast. I mean, the uni tours are interesting, but sorry, God, for interrupting.
But I would say this: hitting a chart. Here's the weird thing about this, though, is that it's like an XF-15 is the Bushmaster variant of the AR-15, and this is like when they were still making in mass production their the M4 carbines for the military during the global war on terror. But I remember 200 yards away, being able to just standing and not really having to control much. I could, easy shots for me to make. Of course, I was in my 20s at the time. Once again, I'm not somebody who's ever in the military, had any kind of formal training. When it comes, well, to be fair, there was a Marine that sighted in that rifle before I did it, so that could have helped. But I didn't find it that difficult. Even the Marines, I believe they have to do shots out to 500 meters.
Fake Republicans.
Which is more than double the distance, and
real Republicans,
I've never
Democrats.
really past a couple 100 meters. I've never taken shots beyond that.
You're so
I'm never somebody who's been hunting. When it comes to being a sniper and trying to
expect the definition
with a moving target, how far should you lead? Any of that shit. I have zero experience, but just standing, in a sunny day with very little wind, which is very common. It was definitely not a hard shot.
So here's my question: how far away was the shot at Trump?
Settle.
Was it closer or
Well,
was it farther away?
I believe it was roughly similar. It wasn't.
I have the link.
Yards.
I have the link if you want to see it, and then he could.
Yeah, how far away was the shot?
Do you want to see the link?
How far away was the shot at Trump?
In Clown World, fake Republicans call real Republicans. You're so pathetic, Terry. Expect the rival losses to be served on Friday if you can afford to settle.
I was always aiming at the torso. Now, would I at 200 yards? Would I have? And of course, I'm not under stress. I'm not hey, you're about to get shot. Once you take this shot at the president, and your life's about to.
In Clown World, fake Republicans call real Republicans.
That kind of pressure.
Democrats.
Or just even assassination.
You're so pathetic, Terry. Expect the libel lawsuit to be served on Friday. If you can't.
I'm saying,
can't afford to settle, I will garnish your ex-wages, place a lien on your house.
Super clear and calm. The weather was perfect, and I could do it. But I would even say, when it comes to Trump, the fact that he hit his ear, it was in a way, his shot was on target. You can't just
in Clown World, fake Republicans call real Republicans Democrats. You're so pathetic, Terry. Expect the libel lawsuit to be served on Friday. If you can't afford to settle,
I was shooting at the torso of a silhouette. I was not taking headshots at 200 yards, which is
exactly.
It's quite a bit different.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying is to hit his ear without it being blown off his face is a miracle, or it was fake. So there's two different scenarios. Either it was an absolute miracle that his ear wasn't blown off of his face, or it didn't happen. So because we're talking about
he was but the Butler, Pennsylvania shooter was using a 5.56, which is a varmint round. It's literally meant to to kill like very, very small game.
In Clown World, fake Republicans
only
call
reason
real Republicans
that, the
Democrats.
United
You're
States
so
military
pathetic, Terry. Expect the
decided
libel
to use
lawsuit
the
to be served on
5.56 NATO
Friday.
round, which is very
Can't
similar
afford
to
to
the
set up, we'll
223.
go and share
And
explosions.
most
Put them in your
AR-15s
house.
that are chambered in 5.56, they will shoot a 223 cartridge. The reason why they went with that round over the
So
308
pathetic, Terry.
is because they could end up carrying a whole lot more ammunition. And what the studies
it was less
were
maybe.
showing at the time was that they basically what would dictate that you could win a firefight was the volume of fire. And so they ended up going with that round. But a 30-06 is something that can take out like a very large animal. It's a whole different fucking, that caliber is so different.
The deer rifle.
Yeah,
So
it basically catastrophic when it comes to like if you get shot with one, because it has a high velocity, yet it's a round that's not that big. But if you get hit with it, it tumbles and it causes a lot of carnage that way. As opposed to like a 308 or 30-06, which is likely to leave like a clean hole through you.
But I'm saying we can agree that Trump's ear should be at least missing. Like,
No.
if like his ear was missing. No. I'm just saying.
It just barely buzzed him.
Yeah, but that's a miracle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's a miracle that he turned at the last second to point at something and didn't get the bullet that went through his fucking head.
And that's my point, is that like that shooter in Butler
Clown World, fake Republicans call real Republicans Democrats. You're so pathetic, Terry. Expect the libel lawsuit to be served on Friday. If you can't afford to set out, we'll go and share explosions and place a lien in your house.
He would have been fucked.
Yeah, if he wasn't boasting and bragging at that exact moment, he'd be dead right now. Wait, they clip your other account, Pepe?
I got clipped like 3 times today.
Oh, the Carlito one.
Yeah,
He just keeps coming back.
Oh.
Somebody in the comments said, y'all be easy and remember them feds watching.
Of course they are. If you're gonna say, if you're stupid enough to say like anything online that like you want to like target a group of individuals, or you're even like part of a group whose like explicit goal is to, I don't know, commit terrorism, yeah, the feds are gonna like totally be all over your ass.
Wait, Pepe, can I call Vincent out for being a fucking retard? Vincent, the 5.56 is a NATO round. The 223 is a standard round. They are interchangeable in an AR platform. You can put a 223 in a 5.56, but you cannot put a 5.56 in a 223. Will not feed and it'll get jammed.
So you're largely correct.
Yeah, I know. I have both.
Still salty, but getting mad.
Yeah, so the average, almost all AR-15s from the last like 20, 30 years can shoot a 223.
Yeah.
Whereas like an actual varmint rifle that the 5.56 has a larger they have a higher charge behind it, and
That's a fatter casing.
casings are a little bit different. Yeah, exactly. They don't. You can't shoot a 5.56
received in a complimentary manner, or was that some sort of like deep-seated revolt that came from within his soul at what he was engaged in at this moment? I would normally never give him that credit, but come on now, dog. Come on, man. Bro, you look traumatized while you telling the story. I don't understand. Yeah, I had an amazing was a good time. It was a good time. But by the way, this didn't just happen in a vacuum, if you're wondering why these two people were having a conversation at all. Oh no.
Israel might be controlling your favorite influencer. Here's how you spot them. When Benjamin Netanyahu came to DC to meet with Trump, most of the attention was focused on their plans for Gaza. What completely flew under the radar is that Benjamin Netanyahu had another meeting where he met with a group of conservative influencers. The group included podcasters Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Sean Spicer, and writers Bethany Mandel, David Harris Jr., Jessica Krause, Seth Mandel, and Molly Hemingway. Some of the people on this list have several millions of followers, and they were meeting not just with Israel's head of state, but also his diplomatic advisor and the Israeli ambassador to the United States. There are no videos or direct quotes from the meeting because it was conducted under Chatham House rules, which is basically a rule set for meetings in elite circles where the people attending, especially journalists, meet on the basis that nothing said in the meeting can be directly attributed to any individual, and that you can only say what was generally talked about. Some of the topics covered include Iran and anti-Zionist sentiment online. While we don't know for sure everything that was discussed, it's hard to imagine that Netanyahu convened influencers for any other reason than to try to convince them to be propagandists for Israel. So, is there any evidence of Israel manipulating online spaces to change public opinion? Yes. In fact, it's a stated position of the Israeli Foreign Ministry. Just 3 days after October 7th, Israel launched an initiative to recruit social media influencers in the United States to defend Israel. A spokesperson said, fighting on social networks and influencing international public opinion is critical during wartime. The world must understand that Israel's struggle is one of light against darkness, a life-loving culture versus global terrorists. And Israel actually has its own word for propaganda, which is hasbara, which translates to explain in Hebrew. In the weeks following October 7th, Israel already had a lot to explain. A number of American influencers got emails offering them $5,000 in brand sponsorships in exchange for doing a single live stream supporting Israel.
But not just money, people are getting flew out. Israel to fund tour for MAGA and pro-Trump influencers, according to a Haaretz report, says Israel plans to fly 16 social media influencers who support Trump's MAGA and America First campaigns. The influencers each have hundreds of thousands to millions of followers. They'll be flown in to counter what the Israeli government sees as declining support for Israel among young Americans, without citing any date. With the rise of the America First movement and MAGA in American politics, it's essential for Israel that the movement adopt a pro-Israel position. That was the report's quote from the senior deputy director of the Israeli Foreign Ministry's Department of Public Diplomacy. Well, look, Officer Tatum, my advice is to holler at Yaakov, because you're going to need some public diplomacy. You're going to need some public, they tearing you up in these comments. Officer Tatum in a nutshell. Oh, not Krang. Don't bring Ninja Turtles into this. The whole thing is a grift. It never stops cucking. I just... Wow. Not the Django meme. How effing stupid and disgusting are you? How deep is wow? We was only spit on one time, bitch. Oh, it's not so fun when a rabbit got the gun, is it? Officer Tatum is peed after his Netanyahu interview backfired with a lot of negative comments and only 50K views on YouTube. He's firing off at everybody as willing to die on this hill for a random country in the Middle East. Can't wait for him to debate Myron Gaines. And when did Officer Tatum become obsessed with the Israel stuff? Literally never saw him talk about this stuff at all. Now my feed is filled with this nonsense every day. Doesn't seem or feel authentic. To which we get, they put his sellout A on the payroll. Next, he'll be over there kissing the wall. Trying to recruit the room temperature IQ blacks. It's not. He's one of the influencers who got a paid trip there to go push their propaganda. He's bought and paid for Shabbos Goy, the house in of the modern day. I didn't see nothing. I say, hey, let them fight. Let them get it out their system. They need to work that out. They need to work that out. Now, hey,
familiar with Tatum, Lisa, but that's the woman Infinity says he likes. So
they're very consistent with who they support, you know, and their script. It's pretty amazing.
There's more, but I didn't know if y'all were getting bored with it, so I just...
No, that was pretty good.
If you don't want to hear the rest of it, I'll play the rest of it.
No, again, like the, Israeli government, this right-wing Israeli government is a tool for MAGA and white supremacy. And so that's why they don't really care about Israel. They certainly don't care about Muslims. And they certainly don't care about Jews. But if the right-wing Israeli government can serve their interests as MAGA and white supremacy, then of course they're going to jump on that train.
Let me put it back.
Tatum, you are Capitol Hill doing your best Penny Johnson impersonation. Oh, please save us. Please bring your National Guard into our cities and please save us. Honored to be invited to the White House today. Thank you, Caroline Levin, for taking my questions on two major issues, addressing mental health in relation to mass shootings, and two, tackling the violent crime crisis in Chicago. Now, rare is it that you just see somebody's worldview crystallize in a tweet, then you see it right there. Because certainly we have to have something to lean on when it comes to the mass shootings, right? That's where we start to get into all of the background and the psychopathy and all of the factors that go into mass shooting. But not Chicago, though. That's just a bunch of heads. Come in, no, we don't need. I already know what their brain looks like. I'm a police officer. I already know. Officer Tatum, did they spit on you? Did they spit on you in Chicago? Is that why you out here sounding like this?
With that, I'll take questions. Here on your media seat today, we have social media influencer and content creator Brandon Tatum. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us today. Why don't you kick us off?
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. On behalf of everybody that follow me, the millions of people that follow me, I want to say thank you for making a sacrifice and dealing with some of the most disingenuous people on planet Earth at times. I have two questions. The first question is associated with the shooting that occurred the other day. And I want to ask the question of, we know that it's not a gun thing. Any rational person knows it's not a gun thing. We know it's a mental health issue. So I want to know from you, what is President Trump and the White House going to do to address mental health issues around the country associated with these shootings? And the second thing is Chicago. You know, anybody with a connected brainstem knows that Chicago's crime is out of control. And young black men are getting killed, laying dead in the middle of the streets every single day in Chicago. No president has addressed any of these issues. And so what is the White House going to do to address issues in their capacity to deal with the conflict and violence in Chicago?
Sure.
We know it's not a gun thing. We definitely know that it's not a gun thing. And it's not their fault. You know, it's not it's got to be mental health it's got to be something that infects their brain that takes them out of normal society and normal judgment. And so normal society shouldn't be, condemned based on what they do because of the mental health thing. Then in Chicago, get these hands out of here. Yeah, we gotta pack these hands up. That's what I'm saying. Being in a black guy's driveway who was trying to come home late at night, and it was his fault for scaring the innocent, strange white lady that was in his driveway.
And I know you guys have seen the last couple of days I've made videos about Michelle Bishop, who's a young lady that was at the doorstep of what I consider to be a con artist. And she was, in my opinion, honestly afraid because of the behaviors of this guy that lives there. And given the fact that he wanted to be a social justice warrior, in my opinion, and wanted clout and want to make it a race thing.
Yeah, that was my favorite. That was so When it comes to mental gymnastics, he a bad boy.